Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be talking to you right now. This is Mr. Clark. I want to show you a couple of things in Canvas today that you are working on learning this week. We are going to begin our week with some of the real course content for American cultures. Last week, we learned a little bit about what's your story. You filled in some boxes on a Google Doc telling me a little bit about your story. Our point was that everybody's story put together makes up America's story, and that's what we're learning about in American cultures this semester. Later in the week, we spend a little bit of time with how we know what we know. We know a lot about the past. How do we know it? Well, we know it by the stories people tell, the documents they've used, and by the artifacts they've left behind. That's why you were doing a personal artifact, showing me something about you and telling a little piece of your story through an artifact. Well, now we begin working on America's broader story. On Monday this week, we'll spend some time with European nations setting up colonies here in North America. On Tuesday, we'll learn some about the 13 colonies. Wednesday, we'll learn that those 13 colonies have 3 different regions, and they begin to have a little different flavor from each other. On Thursday, we'll see if you can invest some money in a colony and see if you can make some money. That's what the colonies were about. Some of them were about religious freedom, a very important thing. Some of them were about making money, a very important thing. And some of them were about both in a kind of a way. So we'll see if you could make some money by investing in an American colony. And then finally on Friday, we'll see that the British colonies, when they start to have a little success, they're going to have some conflicts with the French colonies. And we'll fight a war called the French and Indian War. So that's what's coming up this week. Also, you should have received some emails from me. We're inviting you to join my Ed Puzzle page and also Google Classroom. We're going to try to get some a little bit more efficient ways for you to see some work and get some work done and submit them. Let me also show you just on our screen here how you access your Work for American Cultures class. When you go to Canvas and you open American Cultures, you'll see you have a couple of choices here. One link that we'll use every day is one that says Distance Learning Activities for August 31 to September 4. That's this week. Now, if you missed something from last week, you can always go back to the previous week down here, August 24th to 28th. But let me open the distance learning activities. This, you'll see, comes up in the form of a chart for every day. So we have on our screen here Monday, August 31st, Europe meets America. And we have an essential question for every day of the week. Mondays is, why did European nations want to establish colonies in North and South America? So what you'll do first is, while you are watching today's intro video, you'll have an invitation to join my Quizlet page because we'll use that to study vocabulary words. You're going to watch a video about Europe meets America. So when you click on that, it will open up that video. Also, another video about the colony of Jamestown. We're going to read a little bit from your textbook about the age of exploration. And finally, you'll answer today's lesson essential question here. Here's the question. So make sure as you're learning all these different things today, doing all these different activities, you're thinking about why did European nations want to establish colonies in North and South America? Here's a little hint. When you are answering LEQs, you'll need to make sure that that LEQ, the answer to it, reflects learning that you did today. For example, I've clicked on the link that says answer your LEQ here. So the LEQ, why did European nations want to establish colonies in North and South America? Well, to answer that, you click on Submit Assignment. That will open a text box where you will answer your question. Now, there is a caution. Sometimes students will think, oh, I'll just put that LEQ into Google and I'll get an answer and cut and paste it in here. Don't do that. Number one, I know where your answers are coming from. It is no great trick for me to copy and paste it and put it right back in Google and find out where you got that answer. Because if you copy and paste someone else's answer, it's not going to sound like you writing or you're speaking. Also, you want to make sure that you answer at least in 20 words is usually the standard there. So you explain yourself a little bit that you actually know your answer. When you finish, you click on Submit Assignment, and there you go. You're all good to go. Now let's go back to your page where your assignments are for each day. Let's do it this way. Okay, distance learning. Okay, right now at this red hot minute, I have Monday's work all ready to go. Not every day is ready yet, so if you go down to the other days, there may be some revisions. So don't get too far ahead of yourself working on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday's lessons. Some things are ready to go, some aren't. It's taking a long time to kind of get these things going in Canvas, but we'll get it all figured out. Eventually, my goal is to have your entire week's worth of work ready by Monday morning. Well, we're just not there yet. So one day at a time for now. Okay. We are going to record some things that are happening in live class later on this week, and then that's going to be part of your intro video, be to watch that. So, right now I'm recording this on Sunday evening at home. We haven't had the live classes yet to record some of the things that you're going to see through Canvas. All right, feel free to email me anytime. You can use the message function in Canvas or Gmail. Either of those are good, and we'll see if we can get things straightened out if they're not quite right yet. That's where we are for right now. Thank you, and we'll see you later.